as I say, I think if we end up in this situation,
be on the call.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Thursday, the 22nd October here, and we're looking at GPJPY. We made a low at 137,100. Let me just remove all these situations over here at the top, and let's take a look at. Let's see here. So where was we? All right. So we were at GPJPY. So basically, we're coming up. We made a low down over here at 137,100. We created a resistance and then broke down. So I guess we'll have to wait to see if we form some sort of resistance in this area for price to retest the low. That's something I'm going to be waiting and looking for here. But first, it's coffee time. Man, I've been awake since 5 a.m. So half my day is already already gone. Actually, I was looking at this candle here too. I think Eleanor was having the live stream there, and they were talking about this candle with no wick at the top. I wanted to take a buy at this point, but then I was also very cautious of the fact that, okay, maybe this price is going to come up and then retrace down. So I was very I wasn't very confident in that thing. So right now we're coming up, so it's good. So I think if we do form resistance here, there's a very high probability we're going to continue moving down on GPJPY. And this move up, we can consider as a 4-hour creating a top wick to, possibly continue bearish. So that's something I'm going to be looking for here. But I'm going to go get some coffee, and then we're going to continue on here. What's this? Took a loss in London on buys after 30-minute bullish candle above support. Oh, right over here. Right over here. Yeah, this is kind of tricky because the way 1-hour candle closed like a small body candle. And so this candle closed. Yeah, so the 1-hour closed like a small body bullish candle. It's a small body candle. So I think buys were not that valid because the body size was pretty small. And if you look on the 1-hour time frame, there was support formed, and then the 1-hour candle closed below this support. So I think it was a little difficult to take buys at that point. So let's see how price presents itself in this area, because I think this will be a very good indication to take sells. So let's see what happens. All right, Mr. Gulags, can you break down gold? All right, let's do this here. So notice how I have these zones from yesterday. So these zones were here from yesterday, right? So one important thing I think I do for myself is to remove all zones. So I'm going to remove everything and we're going to do a fresh analysis over here. Now, looking at gold, the daily candle came up and tapped 1931 and retraced. This daily candle is forming. We're not sure where this daily candle is going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame and we're going to create like a support, right? So this is the most recent support 4-hour has formed right over here. So it made a high at resistance right over here at 1925 and came down, made a low, and it's now coming back up. So probably it's going to come to fill this wick at 1920, which is like 20 pips away. So we're going to take a look on the 1-hour time frame and let's see what's happening on the 1-hour. So basically what's going on here on the 1-hour is that we have another resistance at 1919 and then we have a possible support forming on the 1-hour at 1916. So going down to the 30-minute time frame, it seems like gold is just ranging over here. So if we have a range on gold, and this range is on a small time frame, like the 30-minute time frame. Now, if you're trading intersessions, like if you're trading like the New York session only or London session only, so you're basically basing your trades off of the small time frames, right? The 30-minute time frame, 1-hour time frame. So now we know that, okay, this is our most recent resistance. This is our most recent support, right? So once you have that on, now you're like, okay, if price breaks above this resistance, where's the most probable area price is going to move up to? So you're like, okay, maybe like it might come up towards 1922, or if it has momentum during NY session, it might break this area and continue on moving forward to 1925, right? But if you break the support, then it's a no-brainer to say that, oh, hey, like, you know what? If you break the support, there's a high probability to continue down. So at this time, you're just waiting over here. Just like I'm waiting for GPJPY to create some sort of a resistance so I can take a sell for price to continue down. Do you prefer trading during election? And yes. Oh, what? Hey, do you prefer trading during election? And if yes, why? And if not, why? And how election affect currency? Thank you. Well, Mr. Booga Hooga, I prefer not to trade during elections, like while elections are happening, because it's a very volatile situation and I want to stay away from volatile situations. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Oh, sells, breakout candle, impulse entry, sells on the break of the low of the previous candle here. Try to take sells, wick fill, realize mistakes. Okay, mistake was realized. Gave my sells a second chance. This is exactly what I focus on, right? So you took the first sell over here, didn't really work out, stopped out, you minimized the risk over there, and then you gave your trade a second chance. And when you gave your trade a second chance, you can see it worked beautifully, and man, that's just amazing. Well done. Looks like your JPY is ranging here. Your JPY is a little different than yesterday. Yesterday it was just coming down here pretty strong. So we corrected this whole move up. So now it's just in this ranging territory over here. Looking at GPJPY, let's do some fresh analysis on GPJPY here as well. Let's start from the weekly. Now, I was expecting this weekly candle to not come up all the way and to go bearish. Obviously, there were some minor zones we were looking at, but obviously we went bullish over here. So looking at the daily seems like it tapped into this resistance at 137.840. Now, the thing is, will this daily candle stay bearish or can this flip bullish and tap into 137.800, right? That's the question. Now, let's take a look on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, what we see is that there is a resistance at 137.540, right? 4-hour created a resistance, so and then it came down. So before it went up, we had this area where 4-hour candle basically it broke above this area and continued moving up, but now we're coming down. So if we're coming down, we're going to go to the 1-hour time frame and we're going to see what's going on here. So looking at the 1-hour, we had a support here which turned into resistance after London Open, and price came down and we made a low. We're kind of like creating another support at this point, right, in a downtrend. So if you look on the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute, this candle is still open right now, right? This candle closed bullish, but if you see this wick over here, it kind of like rejected the same area where price was rejecting when it was creating a support. So if we're rejecting this area, and if you see a candle forming bearish here, I think it's going to be a very nice opportunity for price to continue down, break below 137.100, and then again continue down further to 136.900. I think that's going to be a very, very good idea to idea for a trade. Hey, have been watching your stream for 2 weeks now, and it has helping me to improve as a trader. Thank you. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a very good opportunity here to take sells once we start coming down. And then we can anticipate the volume in New York session to continue price further down towards 136. I'd say like 136.950 could be a pretty good target for today. So I think that's something I can focus on, right? Because we came down, created a low, coming up, create resistance, and boom down. So let's see what happens. Did you eat breakfast? No. Hey, have been watching your. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is London session, your JPY. Okay, secured 10 pips at 75%, and the rest continued on. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. So yeah, we're just kind of like waiting in this area for price to kind of like close bearish. We can continue down. Pretty excited for this trade. Better than yesterday. 15-minute candle is still open. 15. Now remember, 15-minute are 15-minute are weak confirmations. Did you enter the trade? No, not yet. I'm waiting. All right, let's take a look at this. This is a potential question on the trade. This is GU 30-minute. If this current 30-minute candle closes bearish, would sells be valid even though the 1 hour would close bullish? See, I think so. I believe so. The sells are going to be valid at that point because once the 30-minute candle is closing bearish, now 30-minute candle is a stronger confirmation time frame than the 15-minute, although it's weaker than the 1 hour. But if the 30-minute candle is closing bearish, then that means the first half hour. Oh no! Oh wait, this is the last half hour of this 1 hour candle, right? So if this closes bearish. Yeah, we'll see how it closes, right? So it needs to close like a strong bearish candle. If it closes like a weak bearish candle, then obviously, it's going to get very difficult. So let's take a look right over here on the 30-minute time frame. So this is GU here. We obviously had a support at, 1.31200. The 1 hour candles are bullish at this point. The 30-minute candle is bullish at this point. So yeah, I mean, if this closes bearish, then I think there's a probability for price to continue down, but we have to wait to see how this candle closes, or like if it closes like a weak bearish candle or a strong bearish candle. So it's very tough to say. So I think if it's a strong bearish candle, I would be willing to take sells. Hey, another day in. Thanks for everything. Why is 136.950? 136.950 the target? Isn't support on the left a bit higher? Let's take a look here on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so basically I'm looking at these clean candles, right? Now obviously I'm going to keep this area in mind, 137.050, because this is where price came in and then it tapped into this area and then rejected it, right? So once price starts coming down to this area here, so this is like a support area here, and if you want the support to break, you would want it to be broken during volume time, right? And volume time is only going to be here when there's NY open, pre-NY volume and stuff like that. So this 15-minute candle is about to close bearish at this point. 15-minute is a weak confirmation, even though we could still get some pretty nice trades on looking at the 15-minute time frames. So for price to continue down to this minor support level right over here, and then essentially break this area with volume coming in the pre-New York. We got to be very cautious. I think when you're entering based on 15-minute time frames, there's an opportunity for the overall 30-minute to kind of like retrace. So I think if you're entering on the 15-minute time frame and you're not kind of like sure, I think a better idea would be to enter using dynamic risk, right? Dynamic risk means where you're breaking down your entries into different entries, and then you're taking, like, let's say your total lot size for the day is going to be one lot, right? So if you're entering on a 15-minute time frame, maybe enter with like a 25-cent lot, and then price retraces, add another 25 cents. So it's the opposite of managing risk, right? So dynamic risk is opposite of managing like risk when you're in drawdown. Like, when you have a full position open and price retraces, you're kind of like cutting positions. So when you're entering with the smaller positions, you're adding positions on retracements, right? So that's a little bit of an advanced concept over there. It requires a little bit of practice. So there we go. 15-minute candle closed bearish. It's breaking the low over here, creating like a resistance. Yeah, I think we should continue bearish from this point here. I entered a small position around 137 210 as price was coming down to a close, and just gonna monitor. It's like a two lot. It's nothing big. All right, let's see here. Why you're not considering this area as support? This area as support because this is in the past, right? We're worrying about what's happening on the 30-minute time frame right over here, right? Because this 30-minute candle had a rejection. This candle's still open. It's about to come to a close. So once it comes to a close, then there's an opportunity to add more positions for price to continue moving bearish. Man, me using a two lot is like someone using me using a two lot is like someone using a .2 lot on a $20,000 account or a 0.02 on a $2,000 account. So it's all perspective, right? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait for this 30-minute to close and then execute because it doesn't make any sense executing on a weak confirmation time frame. So just gonna wait for this 30-minute to close and then we're gonna execute and then we're gonna count on the pre-New York volume to push price further down, break below this area and then continue moving forward. But if it doesn't close a strong bearish candle, then it's gonna be nothing. The hourly candle is still bullish. Does that matter? No, not really, because once the 30-minute candle closes bearish, then it's slowly flipping the 1 hour bearish as well. Did you close the sell? Yes, I closed the sell. It was like a close it at break even basically. So do you think the range is too small? I do think the range is too small, but the only thing that's on my side is this momentum coming down. You see how London Open, like pre-London, came down, London Open moved down, retraced, now prices are kind of like ranging in this area. So I think once this candle closes bearish, we can essentially continue down to this range, and then we can count on the volume from pre-New York to continue price further down towards 136,950. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good idea. Yeah, I mean, ideas are ideas and executions are executions. All right, let's take a look at this. This is enter to buy at the close of 30-minute candle. We already talked about this. It looked good. I was expecting it to go up, but the 1 hour candle overall closed with a small body. Um, yeah, it closed with a small body right over here. If you see on the 1 hour, it closed with a small body. So even if you look on the 30 minutes, so this was at the 4 a.m. candle, and if you look at the 4 a.m. candle, this was the 4 a.m. candle. So also if you look on the 4 hour, 4 hour was also bearish. So I think it was a little tricky at this point. I'd say it was a little tricky because this candle closed with a small body. 30-minute had that kind of like idea for price to continue up. If you look at it this way, it had that idea to continue moving up, but I guess the probability wasn't there, or the high time frames were coming down. I know some people are in these sells here on GPJPY for price to continue down, and I think that's a very excellent idea for price to continue bearish. I totally agree with that. I also agree we should break 137.100 and continue bearish. I have a small account and I want to know what pros think because I'm not sure what. Oh, what pros think? I'm not a pro by any means. Vantage FX website is up. Have you withdraw your funds? Not yet. I was about to withdraw yesterday, but then I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just wait till the end of the month. So when the month ends, then I'm gonna apply for a withdrawal, and we'll see how that goes. How much you trade with? I trade with around $260. Would you be adding to the position as it goes? Yeah, I mean, once it closes bearish, I'm going to add more positions for this to continue bearish. Let's see here. Opening my love account today after 6 months of trading demo. Wish me luck. Good luck to you on your love account. I think you meant live account, but we'll go with that. How you feel when you trade 15 lots? The same way I felt when I traded 15-cent lots. Well, the first time I traded 15 lots, it was pretty scary because the drawdown went into a quick $125 drawdown, and I'm like, oh shit, quick. It went quick in negative 125. But slowly, you get used to it. Do you think risk to reward ratio 1-to-1 is good, or 1-to-2 and so on? I think risk reward is subjective, right? When you're day trading, when you're scalping, when you're taking 1 to 2 trades a day, I think risk reward is really subjective. Because let's say you start a trade with, all right, so let's take a look at this, right? Let's say okay, so this is not a trade I'm in, this is just an example, right? So whoever thinks I'm in a trade, I'm not in trade. It's an example right over here. So let's say you have 1-to-1 risk reward here, right? Let's say someone takes a sell over here and they expect price to continue down. They're like 1-to-1. And then they say, okay, you know what? My risk reward is always 1-to-5. So if your risk reward is down over here, 1-to-5, this doesn't make any sense, right? Because the number one reason why it won't make any sense was because there's a support here, which obviously we can expect to break. And then you have another major support over here, right? And I know people who will stick to their 1-to-5, 1-to-6 risk reward. Price will come down. It'll almost reach a TP. They will not close because they're looking for that risk reward. Price will go all the way back up, past their entry point, and hit their stop loss. I've seen this happen to a lot of people, So that's why, whenever price moves in profits, I'm putting my stops at break even and I'm letting the rest run all the time. And I think once you get rid of this idea of having like a huge risk reward all the time, you start to learn how to secure profits all the time. Because trust me, man, like no one went broke securing profits. So as this candle's coming down to a close, I'm getting ready to enter some positions over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my dynamic risk, and I'm gonna enter my first sell at this point and really anticipate price to continue bearish here. So we're gonna do this. All right, got almost like a 10 pip stop loss here, and expecting price to kind of like break this minor resistance in pre-New York volume and to continue down to 136.940. Yes. What's your beat you're using for background music? It's fire. It's from a YouTube audio library. GU is also creating that same structure for price to continue down. The only thing I'm going to be very, very cautious about is if price starts rejecting this area. If price starts rejecting this area, then it'll make no sense for me to hold this trade, right? So now imagine this. Normally, I use, let's say, for example, I use like 2% per trade, right? In this entry, this is not a 2% entry. This is like, let's say, a 0.5% entry. Normally, if I'm going to use like a 5 lot, I'm basically using a 1 lot at this time, right over here. Because if for some reason price does go up, I don't want to lose my entire position. I want to lose like a small amount. So really reducing my risk at this point here. Now remember, the start of the week I used a 10 lot, a bigger volume size. Now as this is becoming a more riskier entry, a more riskier trade, I'm really lowering down my lot size. And as price continues, if let's say price continues to move in profits, then I'm gonna try to see if we can implement the idea of adding positions to a potentially winning trade. So we'll see what happens. How did you grow your account with 10 pips a day? Did it happen overnight, or did you deposit money to your account to trade bigger lots? It didn't happen overnight. I mean, it took me 3 years. 3.5 years. And if you think 3.5 years is a long time, I think you should just stop trading right now. Just end it. It's not gonna work. Let's see here. All right. Let's take a look here. So we have unemployment claims coming up later on at 8:30. They're looking at good numbers over here. Lower numbers at this point. And then that's about it. We got some news at 10 a.m. and basically that's it. Nothing more at that point. So let's go back to a chart over here. So we are coming back down. The candle's about to close in 2 minutes. So this is the thing, right? Want this candle to close just like this, a strong bearish candle. If we can get a strong bearish candle closing, man, there's a very high probability the price is going to continue bearish. If we can get a strong bearish candle closing. If this candle closes like a weak bearish candle, then I'm going to close the trade, because a weak bearish candle means that there's no momentum for price to continue down. So we got around 2 minutes left here, so we're going to see what happens in 2 minutes. Someone is saying, hey Raja, you're gambling. That's fine, man. Gambling made me get things I wanted in life. So everything in life is a gamble, man. Like when you go drive on the road, that's you're gambling on the fact that someone else is not going to hit you. When you go to the gym, you're gambling on the fact that the body can really lift the weights you're trying to lift. So I mean, it's all calculated gambles, let's put it that way. What percentage do you average a month, if you don't mind me asking? Just curious. I'd say like around like 10%, 10. something like that, 15. But I keep withdrawing. Keep withdrawing. Because I know next question is going to be like, oh, if you do 10%, how come you don't have $1 billion? Billion is a lot of money. I know that question is going to come up because keep withdrawing, keep withdrawing, keep withdrawing, keep withdrawing. That's the idea. You just got to keep on withdrawing because when you withdraw a couple of times, man, you start chasing those withdrawals. I've said it a lot of times, chase withdrawals. Don't chase compounding because like there's an idea that, hey, like, we have to chase compounding. You got to compound, grow your account, compound. While you're compounding, I know a lot of people that, they've compounded their money to a certain amount and then they've lost it all. So as we can see, the candle is now coming down to a close at this point. We're closing a strong bearish candle. So I think there's a very high probability for price to continue moving bearish at this point. Yeah, I think we can continue moving bearish at this point. That retracement had me worried. The only reason you should be worried in a trade is if you are over risking or if you're over trading or if you are, basically if you're over risking. So basically here's what's happening, right? We had a downtrend. Price came down, it created a low over here. We had a little bit of a retracement. This candle closed bearish. So a resistance has been formed. Now there's a very high probability we can continue down to retest this low. Once we come down to this low, we're basically anticipating the volume in pre-New York and moving into the New York Open to continue price down towards 136.950. And I think that's going to be a very, very good trade here for today. So, if you wanted to enter another position, could have entered a position right over here as this candle closed, having the same stop loss. And really counting on the fact that we can continue moving down at this point.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Hey, why are you not scared about the doji on 1 hour? Sorry if you answered this before. Let's take a look at this doji on the 1 hour. Yeah, that's fine. It's like a doji candle. That's cool. It's this doji candle. This basically means that the 1 hour candle did close bullish. But if you look at the size of the candle, this is a very small size, right? This basically means that there's bullish momentum, but it's not enough to push this current candle up. So it's a weak bullish candle, right? It's a weak bullish candle. It's like let's say you have kids, right? You have kids and you're like 5'4", 5'5", 5'4", 5'5", and your kid is like 6'1", so your kid has a lot of power. So this is what's happening here. So if you look at the 30-minute candle, the 30-minute candle is that kid that's 6'1", and then the 1 hour candle is like the parent, which is pretty small. So every time you go and try to discipline your kid's like, get out of here, man. So that's what's going on over here. Yeah. So it should be up like 5 pips at this point. So we're really looking forward to price to break this area and continue down.
137 maybe?
Yeah, 137 should be pretty good.
Oh my God, I misclicked and I opened a buy instead of a sell.
Come on, Mac.
I did the same thing, bro.
For real?
Yeah, bro, you're not alone.
Oh man.
The funny thing is, Mac took a buy looking at the 1 hour candle, and then he saw us in sales. He's like, "Oh shit!"
No.
He's going for a 1
I was
hour
gonna-
weekend.
Not alone at all, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man.
Damn, I misclicked. Oh my God. That's what happens when you don't drink enough coffee.
But I close fast.
All right,
Nah, I didn't. I couldn't because I didn't have my terminal on.
all right, okay. We're not here to listen to your life stories, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, we're gonna focus here. All right, someone sent a chart in the gulag. It's a wrong chart over here, so maybe you need to look at that chart again. It was the wrong chart. Let's see here. If GJ was bullish, what made you confident that it reversed? It was not bullish. Basically, this candle was closing bearish, strong bearish, so that's why I stayed in this trade. So now this volume at this time of the day. And we're expecting volume to break this minor support, right? If we start rejecting this minor support, then there's no point in being in this trade. So if it's going to continue down, we should continue below 137, 100. And even if it comes down towards, let's say 137.090, that's the point where I'm going to be securing 10 pips and letting the rest run at break even. Please tell me about funding talent. So we're going to have them as guests next week on the 30th October. Yeah, we're going to have them as guests next week. So let's take a look at gold over here. Gold is also trying to continue down here, breaking below 1916. Bring some Spanish trader would be nice. Yeah, but the only thing is I don't know Spanish.
We got Curvin.
Yeah, Kervin and Mac can be the hosts for that. How many pips it should at least reach before you think it's okay to close 50% at BE? That's something you have to decide. You know, that's something you have to decide where you want to close 50%. That's something you have to really kind of like test and see where you're comfortable with. What I'm thinking is that now, obviously, I want this candle to continue bearish. And once we break the low on the 1 hour, I think there's going to be a much higher probability for price to continue down. But I'm looking at the 15-minute time frames here. And what I'm going to do is if this 15-minute candle breaks its own high over here, I'm going to be closing 50% positions at that point. If it breaks its own high right over here. But essentially what I want to see is this candle to break the low on the 1 hour, because once we break the low on the 1 hour, then there's a high probability for price to continue down. And then that setup is going to look something like we had day before yesterday. So let me bring it up over here. Day before yesterday. Yeah, something like this right over here. You see here? Candle closed like a small body candle. Next 30-minute candle broke the low. This is where we took sells for price to continue down. It's like the same situation kind of like happening right over here on the 1 hour time frame. If you look here, 1 hour, once we break the low, it's going to be the same idea for price to continue down.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Same as your yesterday 30-minute entry.
Yes.
Thank you, Raja.
You're welcome.
Broke 1 hour low.
Why do you not trade CAD-JPY when it correlates good with crude oil, lad? Because I don't know much about CAD-JPY. All right, perfect. We're coming down, securing 10 pips at this point, and letting a position run at break even right over here.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Secured some pips, secured profits, 10 pips in the bag, putting stops at break even, really expecting price to continue down towards 136.950. Gulag, if you took this trade, securing profits is a good thing. All the secured profits, right? And first thing in the morning, scammed everybody with a little bit of profit here. So congratulations, everybody.
You've been scammed again.
Now really expecting it to continue down here.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice trade, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. So now here's the thing, right? This 30-minute candle Oh, it's only been 9 minutes over here. So you need this candle to stay below 137,100. If it stays above 137,100 and closes somewhere over here, then that means it's rejecting the support, and then there's no reason to stay in the trade. But if it stays below this area, then there's a very high probability it should continue down here and eventually. But please just start securing profits, secure profits, let runners do the dirty work, right? The dirty work here is going to be for price to stay below the support to continue down. So it's like you're protecting your generals, you're sending them home, and you're letting the soldiers die or fight or win or whatever happens. Does your strategy work on every pair? There's not a strategy, it's the way you read candles, and candles move the same way on all pairs. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator over here. The Chinese indicator is saying pound is weak, yen is kind of strong. Some people go by this Chinese indicator, some people worship it. I just look at this for like shits and giggles, right? Until someone giggles and shits. Can you say probability 5 times really fast? Probably not. I thought you said protect your genitals, though. Man, that's why you guys are in the gulag, man. These comments. Man, I think this was the easiest one trade here for the day for me, at least. I mean, I've been focusing on 10 pips for the past 3 years, 3.5 years, and slowly it's just kind of like grows. Oh wow, look at that retracement over there. Damn. Put stops at break even and just let it run. If it continues down, awesome. But if it hits your stops at break even, then you know it's still awesome. You tried. I'm new here. Do you do this every morning? I'm trying to learn how good trades trade live. See, now the reason you're not good at trading is because you lack the ability to do proper analysis. So if you did analysis of the description here of the stream, you would see that it does say that we're here every day from 6:30 a.m. Eastern, but that's okay. We only do it on Sundays and Saturdays. Today's just a special day. Oh wow, look at that rejection. See, this is why it's really important to just secure profits. Secure profits whenever you can, because these rejections, man, they're gonna get you. So initially I had a 2 lot open, and then once this candle opened new one, I opened another 5 lot. Price came down, I secured 5 lot, and then I put 2 lot at break even. So if it continues down, this is going to be a bonus trade, but if it hits me at break even, that's still pretty good. You know, up around 390 something for the day, so it should be pretty good. Now I'm thinking I shouldn't have opened my first position, which I closed in a 1 pip drawdown.
Raja, with the magic key, how do you close? You had 2 positions, 2 lots and 5 lots. With the magic key, how do you close one of them?
Oh, I close it on my MetaTrader.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I only use magic keys to like close half or to put like, you know, partial TPs and stuff like that. All right, let's take a look at this. This is took entries anticipating GU to come down similar to GJ, added second positions once price broke the low, closed both at this point, took 15 pips down for the day. Oh, beautiful. Did GU go down the same way as GJ? Oh yeah, it did. It did go down the same way. Almost like 9-10 pips over there. Do you only trade during the Asian session? No, I don't trade the Asian session. Do you use the stream for self-control, avoid overtrading with others seeing you? I know people who stream and they still overtrade. I just don't overtrade. The streaming, like, to be honest, we started streaming just to show off like how disciplined a person can be. That's how the streams started in the beginning, and now the streams have taken a life on their own. So now it's just fun times. You come on, you take one trade. If it's a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, just make sure it's a small loss, and really helping people with that. Can you invite My Life real quick on your live stream to talk about his US strategy? I'd rather not talk on topics that shouldn't be discussed. So. Oh, look at that. Gold is breaking below that support and now it's continuing down. Should continue down. Let's take a look at your JPY on the 4-hour. Your JPY on the 4-hour. Let's do some fresh analysis here. So it's coming down to a support area. The 1 hour is going bearish, 30 minutes going bearish. I think there was an indication right over here. Once we broke the low and it's coming down. Now I guess we'll just have to wait for it to do like a retest to continue down. My runner is about to get stopped out on GJ here, by the way. Oh, actually, my runner did get stopped out.
I think it should continue down to like 137 flat.
Yeah, I agree with that. See, the 15 minutes are making lower highs and lower lows, and you have this, but you have this rejection right here in the 15-minute time frame. If this 15-minute candle breaks the high over here, then this rejection is valid, and then this support becomes a stronger support because a small time frame is rejecting it, and once this closes above this area, then obviously we're rejecting this area, and then price comes back into a ranging area up over here. But if we respect that previous high, then then you're right, we should continue moving bearish.
Right. So as long as it respects that high, doesn't break above, then I'm not closing.
All right, let's take a look at this chart here from the Gulag coming in for Euro JPY. Let's see here. Oh, okay, someone's looking for some resistance formation for sells. Looks good, looks good. Can it be a wick fill instead of a rejection? Yes. So it will be a wick fill if it respects the previous candle's high. Then it's going to be a wick fill. If it breaks that high, then it's not going to be a wick fill. And the 30-minute candle also closes in 12 minutes. So if it closes bearish, then it's a good position to be in because the next 30-minute candle, you're expecting it to respect this high and then continue moving bearish. Let's take a look at pre-markets, and then we're going to take a look at some US 30 charts over here. Even though I don't know, man. US 30 is pretty hard to trade. Best time to trade US 30 is possibly closer to NYC Open, the New York Stock Exchange. So pre-markets are pretty okay, pretty stable, not a big change here. Someone sent a chart here, so let's take a look at that at the same time. And let's see here. This is, US 30, what's this? Failed to break this area. If it closes below, we'll continue to retest support. Yeah, I think it's good. Like once we do close below, we should continue down. But if this candle closes bullish, then there's a probability it can continue moving up. Up, up. Oh, kind of like zoomed in a lot over here.
Oopty doopty.
Price is rejecting the low it made during London session. So if the high or low of price made a particular session gets broken, does it indicate price will continue moving in the same direction? Yes. So basically, this low was created after London Open. And if we start breaking below this area, then we should continue moving down. But if we reject this area, then it's going to be in a, then we're going to talk about it if we reject this area. And the only rejection is going to be if the next candle breaks this high over here. Then we can say, okay, we have successfully rejected this area. But as long as price keeps making lower highs and lower lows, then you're counting on the volume to break this area and continue bearish. But man, this red background just gives me anxiety over here. In the beginning, I've seen so much red. When I see red now, I'm like, oh no. Red is a bad color.
You get PTSD.
Yeah, I get PTSD.
Makes you feel like it's already a losing trade.
Yeah, it's like that TikTok. Oh no. Yeah, it looks like GU is also rejecting this area. So now it's arranging over here. So GJ is now very important candle to close. If it closes like this, then it's just rejecting this area and we're going to be in a range over here. But man, listen, if someone took this trade and you secured profits, just be happy you secured profits. Just be glad you secured profits. If you made $10, you made $20, you made $25, $5, you made some profits. You know, man, listen, trust me. I know people who will make $600, $700 every other day, and then they will lose all that and more due to overtrading. So if you're up $5 and $10, man, just be happy you're up some amount. Yeah, see that? Now we're rejecting that area here.
Yeah, I closed.
Yeah, this is a rejection. We have another resistance here in the 30-minute time frame. So now this becomes a big, just like not a good range here. Yeah, mess, a big mess. Oh, someone made 1.18 billion. Oh, 1.18. Yeah, still pretty good. I'm trying to get my account back to even. Yeah, it's gonna happen day by day, you know, slowly. All right, I'm gonna be right back.
What do you guys think about this upcoming unemployment claim?
Say what?
I said, what do you think about this upcoming unemployment claim report?
For this week?
Yeah, it's today, isn't it? Yeah, today at 8:30.
Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, last week it didn't actually do any impact, so I wouldn't even be concerned about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's been like that for like the past 6 months.
Yeah. At this point, the market is used to it.
Yeah. Everybody, shh. Boss is back.
Shh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. All right, what's going on over here? Oh, this candle still closed bearish over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still respecting.
Yeah, we're about to close bearish over here. But we're also rejecting the support, so it becomes very difficult at this point.
Yeah, I closed.
Do you ever consider to let a runner with a small stop loss? For example, yes, I do that every time. I do that every time. So, like, sometimes now this trade, it played out maybe in like 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Sometimes, you come to the charts and you can get your trade within the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you got to wait maybe like in an hour and a half, 2 hours to get your trade. So the same thing, if you waited 2 hours to get your trade, you still called it a day. But if you waited, let's say 8 minutes to catch your trade, you still called it a day because the trade is a trade, right? So I got this one trade here this morning. This one trade here moved down, a small move down. I really anticipated it to continue down, and so basically called it a day in my mind over here. But I think this one winning trade. Looks like your JPY is continuing running over here. Why is EJ making better moves than GJ? It is what it is. Sometimes GJ makes better moves than EJ. There's obviously a lot to do with what's happening in the fundamental arena when it comes towards Brexit and all that stuff. I mean, there are a lot of things happening, right? So if you look at it this way, there are a lot of variables. Like you have the virus situation happening. At the same time, you have elections happening. At the same time, you have negotiations happening between the UK and the EU with regards to Brexit. So there's a lot of conflicting fundamental events that are taking place right now. I don't know, man. It gets pretty difficult here. I think if you're trying to swing trade, this is the worst time of the year to look for swing trades because of, all those uncertainties that are happening now. Losing 1% in 3 days is a good sign of improvement, man. I think losing 1% in 3 days, it's amazing sign of improvement. Yeah, it's amazing sign of improvement. Like I have someone in our group, before they joined, they were losing let's say 20% a month, 25% a month. Now they're like, hey man, listen, I'm losing, but I'm maybe losing let's say 2% a week, 1% a week. So first, here's how the process goes, right? When you first start, you start by losing a lot, and then you go on to losing less. Once you go on to losing less, then you stay at break even. You're not winning big, you're not losing big, you're at break even. Sometimes you're in minor losses, sometimes you're in minor wins. So that's the phase where a trader stays in for a very, very long time. And that's where the breakouts happen. Either the breakout can happen to the downside, where you get frustrated and you start over trading and over risking because you're not seeing the progress as fast as you want it to, or you're like, okay, you know what, I'm going to continue on this path, and eventually I'll be good enough to really, really tighten up my losses. And when you really get good at tightening up your losses, man, your winners, they start getting bigger slowly. And this takes months. It takes months. Just like when you start a new job, it takes around 90 days for you to get out of your incubation period, and then you become like a permanent employee or whatever. Here's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. It doesn't take 3 days, doesn't take 3 weeks. It literally takes months for your psychology to get built in, for your what's that word, man? This language barrier always gets me. Well, you know what I'm saying, right? So it takes time.
What, your routine?
What?
Routine?
Yeah, your routine and really understanding that this is a long, long process. I'm looking at GJ and I see previous resistance at 137. Price came back to previous resistance and rejected. Can we look for longs at this point? Down over here. See, here's the thing. If you look on the 1 hour, right? This area here on the 1 hour does not exist. But if you look on the 30 minutes, this area exists on the 30 minute. And if we want to kind of break down price at this point, it's going to get very, very difficult to break down price over here, because we have a resistance, let's say, up over here, we have a support down here. So this is a 26 pip range. Within this 26 pip range, there is this minor range right over here, which is, one is 15 pips, one is 10 pips, right? So this is 15 pips and this is 10 pips. So this is where there are eventually no trades at all at this point. I think now good trading idea would be below this area for price to continue down. But here, essentially, price is just ranging. So yeah, if you only trade GJ, there's nothing to do over here. What's this? Waiting on this candle to close bullish, anticipating to respect yesterday's support zone to continue up. Target over here. Okay, that could work. If I was looking for buys, I would probably look for buys above 137.380, because then I have these clean candles moving down, and then I'm anticipating price to mirror those clean candles to continue moving up in this 20 pip range. Even though it's a small range, but that's where I'm going to be looking for buys if I'm looking for buys.
He's gonna keep going down right now.
Ooh, someone took this sell here on gold. Do you think price could break through the support? See, it's gold. I mean, this is a very, very strong support at this time, right? So we are not sure whether price will break through that area or not, because that's a very strong support. If you look on the 30-minute, you look on the 1 hour time frame, price held the support. This candle came down, it wicked through 1913 and came back up. So it's a strong support. I think if you're in sells on gold, you should probably start to look to secure profits at this point and let positions running. What's going on?
EJ.
Oh, we're breaking down.
Yeah. I made
a
that.
break.
I made that. That buy, like misclick buy, back.
Yeah, it should now continue down.
Yeah, I closed already.
Yeah, it should continue bearish. Man, if my stop was a little bit higher, I would have been safe. Because look, on the 15-minute, it didn't break the highs on the 15-minute. It stayed below the lows. Also on the 30-minute, it respected the highs. It broke the low here on this here too. If you look on the someone's trying to use a mic, but there's something wrong with the mic. Can't really hear it. We also broke the low over here on the 1 hour, so it's pretty good now. We should continue down towards 136.950 first. Ooh, UK PM Johnson says time is now very short to secure a deal. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a buy stop. Imagine put a buy stop at 137.200 and Brexit comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine, Kervin? Actually, I'm going to do that right now.
No, no.
Put a buy stop at 137.200.
Then you say I set a bad example.
This guy, man. Come on, right?
No, he's not doing that.
He can't touch that, man.
Yeah, so I put a buy stop at 137.200. But if price slowly comes up, then I'm going to remove it, right? The only reason I have a buy stop is that if this says something about Brexit and it moves price up, it's going to get activated. I'm going to get a quick win, and then that's it.
Crack me up.
Yeah, I think,
Imagine your order got activated. You just left by 15 minutes and they come back all the way down.
oh wow, I know.
Let's say your order got activated by a slippage of 15 pips, and then your stop loss is gonna be slippage by another 15 pips. You're dead for the week.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is
Basically,
nice.
that happened to me on Tuesday or Monday, whatever. Both ways, I got slipped.
Both ways. My first day out of the gulag. Congratulations. 10 pip on GJ, 10 pips on gold. Nice start. Thanks to Raja and team. Done for the day. Oh, beautiful, man. Have a good day today. Yeah. Awesome. Do you still have that buy stop? Well, it says on the screen over here, so yes, I have the buy stop. But if someone's trying to copy this, I would say please don't copy this. Probably makes more with this group and YouTube and Magic Keys. I think I did around. I did a lot this year. Oh.
You didn't. You like that whole time. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Mac, you really need to relax with your uneducated, I mean, come on, man. Where you from? Are you from?
From the jungle.
That's not me the one talking.
No, but like the comments, like, I mean, yeah. It's what we call in our language, pendu, you know, pendus. Pendu.
Pondi.
Yeah.
What is that? Tell me
It's
more,
like
man.
it's
Tell me
like
more.
it's like pendu, you know. It's like I mean, I don't know, man. Mac, you're a very nice person. I like you. We're friends, but like sometimes,
Uncivilized. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
yeah, you know,
like unfiltered.
yeah.
You're not the first one to say it.
It's the first
Don't
thing
worry,
that
Raja.
comes through my head. It goes out my mouth.
Yeah, there should be a
You know what I'm
thought.
saying?
There should be a thought processor over there. There's no processor.
The CPU's burnt.
Yeah.
The
All right.
CPU's burnt.
Let's see what this means.
Uneducated accent.
The one who
Like
lives
a-
in a village. Yeah, Pendu.
Like a redneck.
Yeah.
Get it on, boy. Right, that's it. I'm gonna shut up for now.
Yeah, so I mean, it should. I mean, whoever's in these cells on GJ, awesome. You know, perfect. You're gonna have a very good winning trade coming down to 136,950. When you have a buy stop, will you also input your stop loss or just entry point? It's just gonna be entry point. I mean, if it activates it, I'm gonna close it ASAP. But if price comes slowly above overhead, then I'm gonna close the buy stop. So I only have that if a Brexit announcement comes in. It's a big if. But I'm already done for the day over here. All right, what's this? CHFJPY entry at candle close. Candle low got broken. I think in this area, I think your entry could have been much better right over here when we were breaking the low at this point here. Because if you took a sell over here, this is like selling the low, and you don't want to sell the low, right? Selling the low means you're expecting price to continue, but what can happen is price can essentially come back up, retrace, create like a minor resistance, and then continue down. So you have to be very careful of that in future. Thanks, guys. I'm done for the day. Thank you, Raja. Thank you. Take care. Jaden, have a good day. Yeah, so basically you'll have to wait over here. All right, this 15-minute candle is also coming to a close. It's closing below this area. This gives it a very high probability to continue down. Right here, 136,950. Boom, come down. And also we're moving into NY Open here as well, and NY Open volume can also continue pushing it bearish. Yep. Yeah, Josh. I wonder the same thing. How many buy stops we have at 137,200?
When is the Brexit news expected?
No idea.
Wow.
See, if we knew that, then we would always make a lot of money because Brexit just moves up, right? They're just anticipating. It's anticipated. Uh-oh, so look at this 15-minute candle. We look at this 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle closed above this support over here. So this means now it's in a ranging situation at this point. And currently price is approaching the buy stop at 137,200. I don't like how it closed above that support. If it closed above the support, this means there's now price is going to range in this area over here. Does the previous resistance at 137,045 suggest we could form support? I think we have formed support. Oh! Uh-oh.
Oh, it got activated?
Oh, it got activated.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
It got activated at 137,200. Wasn't really expecting it to do this, but it got activated, and it pulled back, and I'm looking to get out of it. Because I don't want to stay in this trade anymore. Yeah, I got out of it. Makes no sense. That was a mistake. There you go. Do you consider chart patterns? No. Well, sometimes. It's mostly candle patterns, mostly, not chart patterns. Man, it moved up so fast, activated, came down, and I lost 50% of my profits for today. So now I'm really done for today. Yeah, I was up about $380 and I'm only up like $143. So I'm done for today. I'll take these $143 and that's it. So whoever's still holding, whoever copied that buy stop, good luck to you. You really got scammed today. Honestly, if you copied it and you didn't have the brains to just close it, you really got scammed today.
Honestly, fam, that was a dumb mistake.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a super dumb mistake.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I had already had said a couple things before. I'm like, let me stay quiet this time.
Nah, but you know, when you do some mistakes, you gotta be accepting the fact that you did a mistake.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
That's why you got friends here, Rakeel.
Yeah, man.
So we could.
Right, I know how I love him, but
so we could
if
scold
there's
you.
something wrong, I'm gonna tell him.
But no homo, right, Kareem?
Hey.
No, the thing is that you should always be on the ball. You know, I was expecting price to, like, if there was supposed to be some Brexit news, I was expecting price to just plow through it, right? It came up towards 137,200, activated the position, didn't go through it. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. So instead of now hoping it would go, I decided, hey, like, you know what? I'm just going to close the position because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So if someone's who's still holding that buy stop, hoping it's going to go up, well, hope is not a strategy, and you're going to learn that today. That hope is not a strategy. And if you over-risked, if you used a bigger lot over here, oh man, you really got stuck in the gulag. So this is where patience comes in, discipline comes in, you know, experience comes in. So here's the sound effect for that buy stop here. Yeah. Whoever's holding those.
Don't laugh, man. Don't laugh. There's a lot of people who took that buy stop.
Yeah, but you should just close it. If it's not going, just close it. Because if you don't close it, and if you hold it, you're going to go in a drawdown. And then when you go in a drawdown, then you're going to overtrade. And then you're going to overtrade, and then you're going to see price move again. You're going to take another trade, then you're going to take another trade, and things are just going to go super duper fucking bad. You know, like I was up $380 for today, right? Who makes $380 first thing in the morning? I don't know anyone who does that except, you know, people who trade.
In 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes, yeah. And then
Yes.
this buy stop, it basically activated my position and I lost 50% of those profits. Now I'm only up like $143. And that's still good because I made more money than someone makes working 8 hours and I'm still happy with that. You know, I'm not going to go to Instagram and see, oh, someone made 10,000, someone made $500,000. I'm going to be happy with what I did. $143, more than enough. Because I remember when I used to work in a factory, bro, I was making $80 a day working 12 hours.
Yeah, man. Tell me about
it. And that time only lasted for about 2 months because then I started working on the oil rigs, made more money. But, wow, look at that. This thing is still bearish over here. That was a huge retracement.
Hey, you
If
think
you playing with our hearts today?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Zoom chat and I'm going to go in the gulag today. I think I belong in the gulag.
Quick question: You think I'd make a good oil rigger besides coal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna give it a shot?
Ah, might as well.
Yeah.
Move to North Dakota.
Give it a shot, man. It's pretty good. I mean, take a look at this here.
Hey, man, gonna do it.
Mac the oil rigger.
Drilling rigs. This is what you want to be on.
Yeah, North Dakota, right?
Yeah. Service rigs. Service rigs are pretty small. You want to be a floor hand or a lease hand.
Okay. I'm learning.
I started from a lease hand.
So
Look
you
at
have
this.
to start from the lease. Okay.
You make 23 to 39 an hour.
Okay. Do
To
they take
be
your back?
honest,
Do they take
to
your
be
background?
honest, she'll be nice working with a guy like Mac. You know, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Do they take backgrounds?
That's a good question.
No, not really. I mean, they
Not
do.
really,
They do, but they prefer people who've been through hard times because they're not gonna bitch and complain about work.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm down. How far is North Dakota from here? Take an Uber.
Uber.
Hey, I'm from North Dakota, bro. What are you talking about?
For real? Legit?
Yeah, I live in North Dakota.
Oh. Do you see like a lot of oil rigs around there?
I used to work in the oil field.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So what do you do? Like,
I was a flowback. I was this flowback.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, might as well just.
It's cold down here, though. Can you handle it?
No, I know. I'm from New York, so I go get a little chilly. Thing about the oil rigs is like, I like the mess, you know, and then the cleaning part.
All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. So we got 5 minutes left for this 1 hour candle to close. This chart is being sent from the gulag. Oh, your JPY candle broke previous consolidation, took a sell over there. Overall target was here. Oh, beautiful. Worked very well. So this candle is about to close in 5 minutes. 1 hour candle is closing below that. I mean, this is just perfect for it to continue bearish. This 1 hour its final destination should be at least 136,950. Right over here as well. 30 minute. Also closing below this area to continue down. Man, I'm still cheesed about that buy stop. That's okay. What do you think about a sell when this candle closes below support? Let's take a look here. So once this candle closes and you're looking for sells, Yeah, I think it could be valid. It could be valid because now if you're looking at a 30-minute time frame and this candle closes bearish, and if you do take a sell, now here's where you're managing risk, right? So let's say you take a sell at this point. So for explanational purposes, this is not that I'm in a trade over here. This is just explanational purposes, right? So let's say you take a sell over here. Your target could be like down here at like, let's say 136.950. Your stop loss is up over there and you take a sell. Now, essentially someone could say, hey, like, you know what? That's a pretty big stop because there's only one candle that's breaking out and this could be called the breakout candle. And you're expecting the next candle to continue down bearish. Now, if it goes in profits, that's well and good, right? But what would you do if you take the sell and price starts closing above 137, 120? So now we're going to go into the 15-minute time frame, and if we get candles closing above 137, let's say 100 or 120, then you have the ability to cut down your trade, right? To maybe reduce some losses or to like, you know, really say, hey, like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable in this trade. I'm going to reduce my risk because if the 15-minute candle is closing above this area, that means the 30-minute candle can retrace to close above this area as well. You know, and we do know for price to continue down, we need price to stay below 137, 100. So when you're running in profits, you're letting them run, you're securing at break even. But when price starts running in drawdown, you're looking to see how can you cut your drawdown in half. You know, because if price hits your stop loss, you're going to lose the whole stop loss. But if you secure some losses over here, then it's the same thing as securing wins, right? So you took the second trade? No. This was for explanational purposes. This was for if someone is taking a sell at this point for price to continue down. What's this? If this candle closed bearish and below support, we'll wait to create new resistance on lower time frame to go short. Yep, looks good. Let's take a look at GU here. GU here is also moving the same way as GJ. Man, oh man, this is going to continue falling down.
The good thing on GJ, there's a lot of room for the 4 hour to close around 136,800.
Yeah. Yep.
If you go to the 4 hour, you're gonna see that nice clean traffic to the left. It's going to the 800 trust.
Yeah, I think I explained that sell very well now. For price to move in bearish.
Yes.
Now she hit your target, right? 8 a.m.
Yeah, it should. We should see a little bit of retracement and then a swift move coming down to 136,950. Just straight down.
Straight blah blah blah.
Yeah. Hey, Wix not lie. Here is plenty of people who don't speak English, so they watch the setup and for sure they are selling. Yeah, and I think it should work for them for price to continue down. Do you think this is a scary for a sell? Well, it's Halloween, so it shouldn't be scary, right? Oh. This is GJ, 30-minute, approaching this rejection area and really anticipating price to continue. See, here's the thing. So if you're now, this area could be like a rejection area, right? This is why I explained how you're going to manage a loss if price starts breaking above 137, 100. But you're really counting on the fact that we had clean moves coming here yesterday. Remember at NYC Open, we were waiting for candle to come up, so I took a loss over here. And at New York Stock Exchange Open, we had to move up, clean candle. So we're really expecting this whole move up to be corrected by the next candle coming down. Because this move up happened in time of high volume, and I think this move down should now happen in time of high volume as well, which is NY Open. What do you guys think of the idea of re-entering GJ right now? I got stopped out in my previous trade. I already gave out that idea earlier on. Gold is rejecting that support. Oh, Mr. Mohammed Sadiq is going nuts here in the Gulag chat. So we're gonna put him in a timeout. Yeah, destination should be right over here, 136,950. Easily. Stays below 137,100. GJ is primed for a big buy within the next few months. All right, next few months. See, this is a very crucial area at this point. Either with volume, we'll see a move down, coming straight down, or we can see a rejection. But if you do see a rejection, price will need to close above 137,100 to sustain the rejection of this area right over here. But if it stays below 137,100, then there's a possibility for it to create like a resistance and possible second opportunity for price to continue bearish. But if price just continues falling, then that's going to be a bonus move for someone who's holding sells from up over here.
Yeah, the Q will be to break this low right here.
Hey Raja, which flashlight do you recommend? I don't know. Maybe like the one you have on your phone? This one?
No, you know what a flashlight is?
Yeah, flashlight, man. This is flashlight. This is how they go looking for setups. Do I have a setup over here? Do I have it over here? I add buy positions on buy stop here, almost margin called. What should I do? I think you should just stop trading. A lot can happen in a few months. I prefer analysis from day to day to week. Yes, that's true. Why 136,950? Appreciate it if you can clarify it. Yes, so basically I would suspect price to come down towards, 136,860 because that's where the support was yesterday. But obviously we want it to come down over here, but like 136,950 I say is because it's a safer target. It's not all the way down to the support, but it's like in the middle of this area right over here. So if you look to the left hand side, this is what we have, right? So let me remove this zone over here. And this is the consolidation we had yesterday. Right over here we had a support, and then we had a resistance forming at this area, right? This was a consolidation. So currently price is coming down to the resistance of the consolidation from yesterday. If price comes below 137, then that means it's coming back in this range over here. And if it comes back in this range, then there's a high probability for price to continue down towards 136,830, right? But we want to be careful with our take profits. We want to be a little bit conservative. That's why I'm aiming for, 136,950, which is in the middle of this previous range here. But if price starts rejecting this area, then that means it's rejecting because there was a resistance formed here, and then we will count on the fact for price to hold 137,100 so that we can continue back down again. But if we close above 137,100, then we're having a strong rejection from this point, and then we can no longer continue down. Hope that made sense. It made sense to me.
Look, it's breaking.
Yeah, it should continue down. Please, someone explain how to count pips on GPJPY. Yeah, so let me explain how to count pips on any pair you have, right? This is a bonus live stream education here now. So you open the calculator, any calculator, and you look at the price. Let's say the price is at 137.042. 137.042. And if you want to measure pips till 136.950, you subtract 136.950. So there we go. It's a difference of 0.092 multiplied by 100, 9.2 pips. Right? So that's how you calculate pips. Basically, pips is basically the difference between two prices. That's all what pips is. You know, or you can use a ruler. Someone mentioned that in the Gulag. Put a ruler on the screen, kind of like do this, and then measure.
In centimeters or inches?
Centimeters, and then when you're drawing your support resistance, take a level. Take a level and then kind of like see, look, support looks good, resistance looks good.
And then you get an Allen key, stick it in your computer.
I have all the tools here, man. I have all the tools over here.
This is the only tool that I have on the Allen keys.
Look, and if you want to enter your positions, you got to make sure you screw them in. Make sure your entries are screwed in.
I got an Allen key.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, that's it. You're getting too
I
mackie.
gotta stop. Yeah. Getting too mackie. Yeah, I gotta stop now. All right. Would you say the weekly and daily candle structure are key to your daily success? I don't think so. I think the key to daily success is to focus on what the current price action is doing, right? When we came through the charts, we saw price was making a low. It was kind of like retracing. Eleanor was holding a stream over here, and they were basically looking at resistances to be formed, and candle closed bearish. When this closed bearish, I didn't worry about the daily or the weekly or the 4 hour. All I worried about was that, okay, we made a low and there's a high probability for price to now retest that low. And took a sell, price came down, retested that low, took profits, and that was about it. Take a look at gold. Oh, gold is now continuing bearish over here. Oof. Wow. Looks like it's going to come down to 1910 to fill the wick at this point. Yeah, this should continue. Alright, we're breaking the low on the 30-minute, we broke the low on the 1 hour time frame. Just beautiful. Should continue down towards our target area, 136.950. Thank you for explaining the pips. How do you calculate the price per pip? Because I observed that some pips produce more money than the others. Yeah, because the reason why pip value is different from pair to pair because of the foreign exchange market, right? If you're trading gold, let's say you're trading gold on a US dollar account, what you're going to find is that every dollar move on gold is equivalent to, like, let's say if you use a 1 lot on gold. So every pip move on gold is equals to $10, right? But if you trade GPJPY, so every pip move on GPJPY is going to be around, let's say, $8. If you trade let's say AUD New Zealand is going to be around $7 point some because of the currency exchange. You know, some currencies are valued lower than the others. What's this? UncleBullGroup.com. Okay, yeah, we have our risk calculator here. You know, this is what I used to use in the beginning, and yeah, before Magic Keys, I used to use something like this, and I had to enter everything, and yeah, so like, and this is a very good resource here. Let me put this in the Gulag chat. Wow, man, gold is really flying down over here. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, we can continue down towards 1907 at this point, the way it's moving. Maybe some support area at 1908, but US elections will affect GJ. Yeah, it's gonna overall affect the yen, so that's gonna affect GJ, yeah. So November will be crazy month. Yes, I think so. November is going to be a wild, wild month. And look at this. Man, this is going to continue down. All it needs to do is to stay below this area here now. The half the 30-minute candle. What's the delivery time for Magic Keys to Netherlands? Around like 2 weeks, I'd say. 2 weeks, a week and a half. It's free shipping, by the way. Get tracking as well. Raja, is it not that when USD is affected, it affects basically all the currencies as all of them are interrelated? Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a correlation, right? I mean, if there's going to be a big change on the US dollar, what's going to happen is that if it's a big change on US dollar, GBP/USD is going to be affected a lot, right? Because it's correlated with the US dollar as well. But GBP/JPY may not be as affected as GU because it's not directly correlated. It's only correlated due to the yen. So that's how I see that. You can consider calling Subi Sadi as guest if you want. Oh, okay. Let's look at this over here. Let's take a look at the situation. Oh, Uncle Bull FX. Nice. So following one person. Okay. All right. I'll be. What's this? Yeah, I'll be right back. 15-minute candle is also closing bearish. Yeah.
Once again, have a beautiful day, gentlemen. Once again, it's a pleasure.
Bye, bye, bye. Be safe, Jay. Yeah, gold is playing with hearts right now. Jeez. US dollar is strong.
Matt,
What's up, Kev?
you got any siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister
Oh,
in Tampa. Why? What's up?
I don't know, just asking, man.
He wants to be your brother-in-law, man. Come on.
Hey, whoa. Tone it down a notch right there. She's
Oye,
in Tampa.
cuñado.
Hey, she's in
¿Qué pasó,
Tampa.
cuñado? Okay.
She's not that far from Kev, so
Oh.
let's not keep on talking about it. I mean, she's single. I don't know if you wanna go slide in her DMs. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's back. Everybody, shh.
Came all the way down here.
Look at gold.
Holy.
Wow.
What's this?
Jeez.
ECB preparing for a second wave. All right. Nothing new. Nothing new. Wow, man, gold really ran over here. 70, 80 pips, almost 100 pip move here in this candle.
Yeah. And GJ right now, it's sketchy.
All right, let's take a look at this here. This is... Ooh, GJ, 30 minute. Candle close bullish, create support. Candle created low here previously. Strong candle here. Entered over here. 80% at 10 pips, stop loss to break even. Oh, right over here, okay. It's pretty good, kind of like the same trade I had. Why don't you use trend lines? Because I think trend lines conflict with support resistance zones. So that's the reason I use trend lines. Wow, so gold passed that support we drew earlier on. The next area of support on gold is way down here at 1901. Crazy.
Wow.
GJ came right down close enough to that area and then rejected it. Now the problem with GJ is that if it closes above the support, then there's a very high probability it's going to continue moving up. And listen, if someone's already taken their one trade or two trades, just don't look for another trade. Because like the more you stay on the charts, the more opportunities you start seeing, you know, and that's actually not good. It's actually pretty bad. So you gotta keep those things in mind.
The sales that I had, I closed at 0.05. So the way down here. Closed at 7 pips. Wait, it's not 0.05 here.
All right. What's this question? Does gold not respect support as often as GJ? No, it's not about that. Gold has a lot of volume at times, so it just disrespects support sometimes or disrespects resistances sometimes. So that's why it moves the way it moves at times, because, you know, like someone earlier said that there was a news break from Biden. One win, one loss, still in great project out for today. Oh, just education listening. Hey, can you please take a look at my first Gulag chart on GJ 4 hour? All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this 4 hour. Waiting for support at 137 to continue to 137, 500 and 800. Yes, that is correct. But now let's remove all analysis over here, right? Let's take a look on the 4 hour here. So basically what you're expecting is for price to come down over here, create some sort of support, and then continue moving up. But in the past, I think what we would want to see on the small time frames would be some sort of a consolidation in this region right over here. Maybe some sort of consolidation in this region so that with volume we can start breaking up. I think that's something we'd want to see for the overall 4 hour to continue moving up. You know, but like so far this candle's open, it's about to close in 6 minutes. Looking at the 1 hour candle, 1 hour candle is also kind of like, you know, at this same area over here. I'm not sure if it's rejecting it or it's going to close below it. That's something we're going to find out in 35 minutes that it comes to a close. So judging by this, man, this was a wild push down towards, you know, 136, 960, and then we kind of rejected it. All right, let's take a look at this. This is gold, 1 week. Previous weekly on gold respected. As candle flips bearish, we can anticipate price to go to 1861. Yes, we can anticipate it. And if you look to the right hand side, it says 1 day. So you're basically expecting that to happen in 1 day. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So like, you know, if you look at weekly over here, how far are you looking for weekly to fall? I mean, if this weekly candle does flip bearish, then I think it can fill this wick down here, which is actually not that far away. It's like 16, well, 160 pips away. Is always leaving a trade to TP or stop loss good for a beginner? Yes. I think that way you're going to actually see like how many of your trades are actually reaching your targets and how many are reaching stop losses, right? So, I mean, if you, and that also means doing that, not doing that multiple times a day, but that means doing that maybe once a day, maybe like, you know, 4 times a week, something like that, to really build that discipline. Because the worst thing you can do is take a trade and then take another trade. So that second trade, let's say it's a loss, and then you take another trade to make that loss back, and then that's another loss. Now you have 2 losses, and then you take another trade, you make a little bit of a win, and then you take another trade, and then you take a loss, and then you're overall in losses, right? And very rarely what happens is that you're getting wins like this, but most times you're getting losses like this. So the best way to combat that situation is to just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. That's it. That's something I repeat every day, and the more I repeat, the more I believe in it. You know, so even if that was a lie, I mean, I'm still believing it, and it works, man. It works. Like I took 2 trades today. One was the sell I took earlier on, but I closed it. And then I took sells again, and then my buy stop got activated, which wiped out 50% of my profits from today. But I'm still positive for the day, and I'm going to take that positive till the end of the day, you know, staying positive. I'm wondering your opinion about gold. Let's take a look here. Oh, if this situation is happening on a 30-minute time frame, will you take a sell when price break 30-minute low? Let's see here. Yes, I think breaking this low right here at 1904, 1905 would be much better. Because we've already fallen this much. So if the next candle breaks the low, then yes, it can continue down because you got clean candles here to the left hand side. But at the same time, you're not ignoring the fact that there was a candle right here which rejected this area as well. So you have to be very cautious how this area forms over here. Do you watch UFC? Who you got? I don't know. Probably Habib. Man, that guy's a monster. That guy used to wrestle bears when he was young. I've seen one of his training camps, and he has 4 people wrestling him on the ground.
What, in Ukraine?
Yeah, like he has 4 people wrestling him. So when he's practicing grappling, he's grappling 4 people at the same time.
Jeez.
You know, and now you put that person in front of someone who only grapples with one person, bro, like big difference.
I think Connor posted a picture yesterday, like a funny picture.
Yeah.
I mean, he's washed up already.
Yeah, I think also too, Raja, if you're trading gold, be very careful because of the elections that are coming up with the U.S. So any U.S. currency, base currency like U.S., JPY or anything with the U.S. in it, it's going to be very, very choppy up until November 3rd. So try and be cautious around the U.S. pairs for the next few days as we come in towards the election.
Quick question, Ted. So every 4 years, like what 2 months before the elections, markets get choppy?
Well, no, I mean just 1 week.
Oh,
it's the 22nd. The election's on the 3rd. It's just if you've noticed right now, like there's been a lot of range and a lot of pushing back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just because the elections are coming. That's all.
So like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, the election's November 3rd, so just do the math, right? It's the 22nd today.
Brother, just look at the calendar.
Hey, relax.
There's so much to process.
In 2 Tuesdays from now, Mac.
I know. I missed you, bud.
Yes.
Where were you?
I am well. Yeah, because Rakeel was saying gold will drop to like 1900. More than likely it should get there. It's very, very choppy. So I think people that are trading gold right now, just keep your stops very tight.
And by the way, very tight for gold is like 30 pips.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks for me personally have been very quiet. Like there hasn't been much trading for me. The market's not been moving in a way that has been fun. I mean, we're getting small moves here and there, but we're not getting those massive moves like through the New York session anymore.
Yeah, you've been in the shadows.
Yeah, I've been here. I mean, I'm not going to talk if I don't have anything to say. It's Raja's stream, not my stream.
Mac.
I even coughed. I even coughed. That was like a direct arrow to my heart.
Direct arrow. Not gonna say anything if I don't have to say anything.
Man, you guys love me, you know that. Okay, no answer. Take that as a no.
Do you think markets? Oh, talking about markets, this thing is still bearish over here.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. Bye.
Have a good one.
Be safe.
Thank God.
Take
Oh my god.
Let's go,
Matt,
Mama.
gonna
Let's
have
go.
a horrible day. Thanks to you.
Oh, we had a good day today. What do you mean horrible day?
No,
Just that buy stop was horrible.
Please don't come back.
trying to look for the Zoom to exit out without crying. Bye.
Jackpot strategy is a scam. He booted 200 paid members and won't give them their money back. Be aware. Oh, okay. Jackpot strategy sounds like a, I don't know, a jackpot strategy. Oh, look at this. Still coming down. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is why I am stopped. You are stopped because price broke support, came down, and it did a little bit of a retracement. So instead of asking why you are stopped, now maybe you should look to see that how could you have gotten back in that trade? You know, what could you have done differently to get back in that trade? I think this 30-minute candle kind of like looks like the same one we had previously, right over here, at around the same time. Well, this was at like 7 a.m., but this is at like 8:30 a.m. So kind of like the same idea, something that we were talking about earlier. That if we do kind of like come into this area over here, we can continue down to the bottom of this entire range. Oh, what's this? Hey, I took a sell around 20 pips 20 minutes ago on GJ, closed 8 pips because it was struggling to break. You mentioned earlier, would you re-enter if it breaks and closes? Yeah, I think it should continue moving down at this point because this candle was basically your rejection candle, your retest candle. How would you enter this trade? It was about 2, but I'm trying to discipline myself to wait for a confirmation. To enter this trade, this was just based on experience. I mean, this is something you would need to have seen it happen over and over again to see, okay, like, you know what, maybe I could have entered on this trade. So it's kind of like the same pattern we had formed yesterday right over here, and also last week, kind of like the same thing happened here, where there was no confirmation, but the only confirmation was the experience in which you've seen this happen, you know, before. So that's what's happening right over here as well. The experience of you seeing this happen before, so that kind of like gives you confidence to enter that trade. You know, sometimes there are no confirmations, and at those times it's only your experience that shows up and speaks. You know, and if things do work out that way, then you're like, oh, okay, like, you know what, this is basically, I've seen this happen a lot, and this happens before, so I think there's a very high probability it's going to happen again. And once you start executing on it and it does start happening over and over again, then you're like, okay, like, you know what, this is something I recognize on the charts. This is something I've seen before, and this is something I can basically capitalize on. Because, like, I mean, capitalizing on moves is the same thing as like watching, like, there's one thing here, like when price is trending down, let's say, it's always going to create a low, come up. Once it creates a resistance, there's a high probability for price to continue down. Now, if there's someone who does this just one thing over and over again, it's very easy to say, okay, like, you know what, one day we're going to use 1%, second day 1%, third day lose the trade because, you know, there's a probability of a loss as well at the same time. Fourth trade, again 1%, fifth trade, 1%, sixth trade. Once you come to the sixth and the seventh trade, now this is not going to take you like 6-7 days. This may take you like maybe like, you know, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks. But when you come to the 6th or the 7th trade, when this same situation happens, you're going to start to think to yourself, hey, like, you know what, I've been risking 1% on this. Why don't I just like pump up the risk a little bit more? because I've seen this happen a lot of times. You know, like I've been using, let's say 50-cent lots. Let's go with like 1 lots here. 1 lots, 1.25, or I've been risking like 1%. Let's just do 4% today or 3% today because I've seen it happen. But at the same time, you're only doing this if you're really, really good at managing risk. You know, this is where when you jump from 50-cent lots to like, let's say 1 lots, you're really like, you know, tightened up your risk. That obviously you're risking more for a bigger gain on a thing you've seen before. And now the only thing that changed is your risk basically in that trade. Wanted to know your opinion on this trend line pattern on gold. Oh, a trend line pattern. That's something new. I know trend lines.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. Looking for a break and close consolidation area. And you got trend lines going up, down, up, down. It's amazing how you've basically predicted the future over here. It's really cool that you've predicted price will come down over here, then it will come back up over here, and then it will come down here again, and then go back up over here, and then come down. That's actually very amazing. What time? Oh, this is the 4-hour time frame. Wow, man. That's crazy. I think maybe instead of looking at this, if you think price is going to go down, you should start to look at how can you grab this move down instead of spending time and I'm going to say like wasting time drawing all this on the 4-hour time frame. Like if you think price is going to go down, focus on how you're going to grab this move down. And then we can move forward from there. Hey, what's up? Okay, so oh, we're still moving down here. Candle's about to come to a close. All right, I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, so if you're watching gold, you'll see that we rejected a bit around 1902, 1901. So if you're looking at this on the smaller time frames, you think that the trend is potentially changing. You might find that the next hour drives down one more time and then potentially pushes up again. But what I'd be looking for is in the next hour, a little bit of a wick up to around 1907 in that area, 1910. And then if we do have a wick up, I'd look to fill this range now on the hourly. Because a 15-minute candle, you know, and 30-minute candles are bullish, but to be honest, it's just usually the end of the hour pullback. We had a massive move at the beginning of the hour, and now we're just getting a breather or a pullback to potentially continue down. Because if you look at the hour charts, you have clean traffic. We're in clean traffic in this area right now. There's a nice big candle to the left that we're trying to mirror. So we should touch down at around 1901. 1900 to be exact. So you might find this may come in the next hour as we start to form. So what I'll look for is this move potentially around the New York Stock Exchange open. So around 9:30, 9:45, you might get this push down. So if you're trading gold, think logically where you think you're going to get the next push in volume, and that's usually at the New York Stock Exchange open. So within the next 45 minutes, you will see a push, and that will really set the tone for gold for the rest of the day. So I would be very cautious. We do have a nice push to the bearish side, but we are entering a zone on the higher time frames as well. So just manage it. But I believe that we should continue to go down. The other thing that will give it a good push down is if you're watching news feeds So choose your favorite news feed, whether it's on Twitter or the internet or Twitter or a website. And if they do confirm the stimulus package for the US, that will strengthen the US dollar and push gold down. So there's a couple of factors there that I'll be waiting to hear about. So if we do get that, if we do get the stimulus package, expect the Dow, US 30, DJI USD, whatever you know the symbol is that you're trading, expect that to rocket to the moon, and expect gold to drop. So just be very careful with that. So those are the things that I'll be watching for, and those are the catalysts that I'm looking to see to get gold moving and trending hard or breaking out of this range. Because I mean, we're really in a deep range between 1907 and 1900. It'll just keep bouncing around in that area. So those are your key points. So if you have Twitter, I mean, you know, you can follow different accounts related to FX or the government or the news. Obviously, if Trump tweets something about this package being passed, you know it's going to fly as well.
When you say news on Twitter, I think the like a really good one is Squawk.
Yeah.
Right, Squawk. Second good one is Donald Trump right over here, but soon after elections he's going to be not the good one. The great Bobby Bowden, one of the best coaches ever. Wow, this guy's awake early today. He was awake 1 hour ago too. Have you seen that movie? Yeah, let me get back to a thought. I forgot the name of the movie. It's by Steve Carell. Steve Carell, and they go to this small town and they're kind of like getting this guy to run for mayor, being a Democrat, and they're kind of like shining light on the things that happen in the background when you have like political campaigns running.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I saw that last night. Like, all this money is just donations. So you have these wild, crazy fans who just send you money to promote yourself. Irresistible, yes. Yes, that's the movie, Irresistible.
Oh, it's brand new.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a brand new movie.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, not on Netflix. We rented it on Google Movies.
Oh, Android box. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Android box. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the team behind Trump's Twitter, they have studied Trump. Because I'm pretty sure Trump is not on his phone just typing away on Twitter. You know, like they've studied Trump.
Well, I'm always like, that's one thing too I always think about is, you know, it doesn't match his personality to use Twitter. Like he doesn't seem like a tech savvy person. And then I'm like, does he just stand there and say something and someone sort of like types it as he's talking?
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's sort of what I'm thinking, because I can't see him having like Android or iPhone and just like jumping onto his Twitter account. Like he doesn't strike me as that person. He doesn't strike me that he could even turn on a TV. I think he'd just stand there for 5 minutes and go, "Oh, why do we have 4 remotes? Where's the power button? What do we do here? I want to watch this. I don't want to watch CNN. I want to watch Fox News." You know, like I don't see him. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
think he has somebody that stands beside him and he's like, I need you to tweet this right now.
Or someone's out there, Mr. Trump, so and so said this on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, quite frankly, I don't like this person.
Yeah.
Are you guys done for the day? Yes, I am done for the day. Trump uses BlackBerry. You know what? I'm pretty sure, like all these big people, there was this interview I was watching the other day, and they were talking about how, like, you know, when you have malware, right? So malware is something which is going to go on your phone, and it's going to trick you into sending you to a website where you need to. They'll say, hey, you have a package waiting for you. This is a tracking number, but we need so and so information, or click this link and do that. So it basically puts a program on your phone which can then be used to, like, you know, like spy on your messages or something like that. Because, like, here's the thing, like if you have like Google or Facebook, right, at a snap of a finger they can give all the information, all your text messages, private messages to somebody. So when you build something like a malware like that, right, and you know that all important people have iPhones with them, I think that's a bigger risk, because iPhones, whenever they bring out a new update, there's a tiny bit of difference. So to change the software is pretty easy, but when you have an Android, you know, Android has so many different versions, it's really hard to hack into a specific Android. And if you look at this, like if you look closely at all the world leaders, you'll notice that they don't have iPhones. Not many of them have iPhones. They either have Blackberries using BBM or they have Androids. I don't even think Trump has an iPhone or a phone for that matter. Trump has a lot of influence. Like if you guys remember, there was a news outlet that Barron Trump, his son, he had the virus. I saw a headline on 6Buzz and then I fact checked it on Google. And after that, there has been no mention of that at all in the media. I think Trump called somebody and said that, yo, hey, listen, stop it. Stop this right now. And then they stopped it. No one mentioned it. Oh yeah, that was a podcast of Edward Snowden with what's his name? JRE. Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Edward Snowden. He's still hiding. They passed a petition to just say, hey, like, you know what? Like, we should just give him a pardon. Because it was proved that NSA, when they were doing these wiretappings, they were all illegal wiretaps. Because they had no warrants to do the wiretaps. Now Joe Rogan has all his podcasts on Spotify, man. Spotify paid him millions and millions of dollars for that. Hey Joe, come to our platform. What would be the maximum pip size for stop loss for scalper? I think that's not the correct question to ask. I think a better question should be, hey man, this is the trade I'm looking at and this is where my stop loss is. Do you think this is a good stop loss? That should be a better question. Because what you asked is something that can be answered in a different ways, you know, like, because that's a very subjective question. Because you can have supports down here, you can have smaller supports, bigger supports, depends on what time frame you're trading, depends on a lot of different factors. How would you define a scalper? I think these terms, scalper and swinger, these terms were just built by different people to sell a specific idea. You know, it's not about being a scalper or like a swing trader, or it's all about like how many ideas are you executing on and for how long. Like, you know, like there's a chance like if you look at myself, right? Me, I come through the charts and I try to focus on an idea that's gonna last maybe 30 minutes to an hour, you know. And if I can execute on that idea profitably, then for me, that's good enough. Then you can have somebody who's going to say, okay, like, you know what, the ideas I'm going to look at are maybe they're going to last me for a day or for like 2 days. So you're just changing time frames, right? Because the candles, they move the same way across all time frames. You have the 30-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. They move the same way on even the daily and the weekly. So let's check out this weekly here, right? So if we look at this weekly, you will see that some patterns they do exist, right? So if we look at this weekly right over here, so if this was a 30-minute time frame and if the candle was breaking the high at this point, this would have been an impulse entry where the stop would have been back down below this current candle and expecting price to fill this wick, right? So candle patterns, they happen across all time frames. You can see right over here, we had this clean move up back in June when we broke above 135,500, came down, and then slowly when candles just started breaking above this resistance here, you had price moving up forward. Oh, I'm getting hijacked.
Yeah, I think the main issue that a lot of new traders struggle with is a lot of old information out there that is considered, gospel information. That, swing trading is the only way that you can trade. Scalping doesn't work. This is how you have to execute. Those narratives are there to give you a starting point. A lot of people, and this is what causes conflict in the industry, is a lot of people take it to heart that scalpers can't swing trade, swing traders can't scalp. This is the only way to do it properly. And a lot of times, people stick to those beliefs because they don't have anything else. But with trading, what you're going to find out for very soon, or if you haven't already figured it out, is you have to make trading your own. You have to be able to figure out where your comfort level is. It doesn't mean that you can't take some of the ideas you've read about and incorporate it into your trading, but you can't say that this is the only way to do something. When you do that, you put yourself into a box and you limit your ability to navigate the markets. The markets are always changing. What we see now, we didn't see 10 years ago. What we see now, we didn't even see 5 years ago. And, when you start to put yourself in a box and you say, I have to do this, and this is the only way that I'm going to be successful, you really hurt yourself, because it's almost as if you're, I bring the analogy back to weightlifting. I mean, there's people that have short arms and there's people that have long arms. The people that have long arms, it's harder for you naturally to lift more weight because you have a longer lever. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It means it may take you longer. And you may have to adjust your routine compared to someone who has shorter arms. And when you look at trading is the same way. I mean, if you've never risked $1 in your life before, you may feel more comfortable scalping in the beginning because there's a instant, or the open or close is a lot faster. So you're able to see your progress quicker. As you become more comfortable, you may choose to start swing trading because you start to understand, how the candles are moving, how the market moves, and you can hold a little bit longer because you're able to see, like Raja gave the example of the daily time frame, right? So you're going to get more of a movement on that. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or you're right. I think you have to get out of that frame of thought process, and what you need to focus on is you need to focus on just having a correct process where you're comfortable executing, you're comfortable understanding what you're doing in the market, and there's no hesitation, there's no emotion. You have to get to that level, and it starts off at a very small, very simple pace. and from there you expand. That should be your primary focus when you're trading, is focusing on a positive process. I closed my trade at my stop loss. You know, I took profit when I was supposed to. Things like that that reinforce good habits. And then from there, you can expand your ideas and expand your rules. But to say that, you know, you need a 3-to-1 risk to reward, or, you know, I need a sniper entry, or, you know, I don't need to know when to trade, what session I need to trade in. I can just trade anytime. Those are, you know, rules or ideas that create a box, right? And you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to put yourself as agile or as open as possible. And when you do that, you'll feel a lot better about your trading. You'll feel a lot more comfortable because you're doing things that you inside can handle and deal with. Some people can't do a 3-to-1 risk to reward. It doesn't mean that they're trading incorrectly. It just means that that's not part of their comfort level. Maybe they need only a 2-to-1. Maybe they want a 1-to-1. Like you can't keep putting people into certain sections saying this is the right way or the only way, because it's just going to hurt you in the end.
I can't handle looking at drawdown, so I don't even try to swing trade. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they both require different types of preparations, you're right. Any thoughts on EJ right now? Currently in a sell, anticipating further downside. Okay, let's take a look at this. See, I think, actually I'm not going to say I think, because last time someone said. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here first. So this is your JPY. We're coming down, possibly coming down to a possible rejection area right down over here. So you entered the trade already. The candle's closing. You got the 1 hour candle closing. You got this 1 hour candle closing soon. I think it's going to be a good idea to probably secure some positions, because as you got the 1 hour candle closing bearish, you're expecting for it to continue down. You're really expecting the candles to continue making lower highs and lower lows. But since this candle came down in a way which shows some sort of a rejection, and when we look left, there was some sort of a rejection here before. So I think it's going to be a better to probably, yeah, I'd say like bring your stop down. I mean, if I was in this trade, I'd probably secure positions and bring stops above this area here, because this is where price may form resistance or consolidate. If it's going to continue further down, it should do those consolidation areas over here. I took this trade in gold 5-minute time frame, but I do know it was a risky, but we were in heavy bullish trade. So for the next time, I'm wondering your opinion. Oh, 5-minute time frame. Resistance formed, and after the first bullish candle, I opened a sell position. Oh, wow. Close my position. Yeah, it's very, very, very risky, because this move down that happened on gold, let's take a look at this, right? This move down, oh, this was just at the news. So this was the news move right over here. So yeah, you know what? It was very, very risky. So if it worked once, it doesn't mean it's going to work again. You know, there's a less probability. So that's the thing. So when you do things which are not from the good habits, you know, then there's a probability that it may not happen most times. It may happen that one time, but most time it won't happen. Because like I went through a phase where I was constantly looking for wick entries, right? I was constantly looking to get entries at the tip of the wick. I went through that phase, and whenever I would get an entry at the very tip of that wick, you know what? That entry would come after like 4 or 5 losses, you know, 4 or 5 tries to get that. And at the end of the day, even if price, you know, got that entry at the tip of the wick and it came down in profits, at the end of the day, I was mainly closing at break even, because I already had those losses before and trying to get that tip of the wick entry. So been through that phase, man. It was a very tough phase to get out of, because your mind gets stuck in one certain way. GG 30-minute chart, buys above 137.200. More likely to sell below the zone when 30-minute candle gets printed. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's 9 a.m. already, man. Time passed by pretty fast today. You know, to be honest, I was actually looking at that as well. And what I was looking at was more of trying to get into a buy above this area right over here. Right? Because if this is a 30-minute time frame, you have an area of, like, you know, there's a rejection area right over here, and then you have a big rejection area right over here, and then you have a rejection area right over here. So if price crosses above this area, then you have a clean candle to the left hand side, and this is a 20 pip range, right? Look at this, from 137.400 to 137.600. You got a 20 pip range, clean range too. So this is a clean range, right? But below this area over here, this is like almost 13 pips, and then this one over here, same thing, like 8, 9, 10 pips. So this is a dirty range. It has levels over here. So for price to break through these levels, you would need something like really, really strong volume to come in the market, because that's the only reason why price is going to go straight up, because there should be a lot of volume for price to break this, and then go up. You know, so if you're looking for buys, I think safe buys are going to be above, you know, 137.380, 137.400. Safe buys. And that will require a lot of discipline, because you're going to have to wait for price to actually come up above 137, you know, 380 and 400. But looking at selling opportunities, let's take a look on the 15-minute over here. Yeah, we're just creating a support here in the small time frame. See here, we're creating a support. So you will need candles to break below this area here, because you have multiple candles closing above, let's say 137.030. So you will need something to close below for it to continue down. Moral of the day is everything is possible. You need to understand your mind and your emotions. Discipline and risk management is important. You know, the most important thing is just 1 to 2 trades a day. That's it. I've said this a lot of times before, and that's it. 1 or 2 trades, and always go over your trades. So every day I go over my trades. Every day. Like after I'm done from the stream, I go to the gym, I do my stuff, you know, take like a big long break, 3-4 hours, come back, and then I go over all my trades from the earlier day, you know. So it's very important. Always go over your trades. It's this mindset has been instilled in me, because, you know, when I was when we were in school and we would come back from school, my mom and dad would have us sit on the dining table and would tell us to revise everything we did in school in the morning. So we would open the books, we would go through the first period all the way through the 8th period and read and understand everything we did. So that habit is still instilled in me. You know, so when I'm done from my day, I come back and I look over all the trades I took. I rewatch the live stream. I look at everything, you know, because I know if I can keep looking at the things I did earlier in the day, slowly I can get better at that, you know, and if I can get better in that, that's going to give me monetary rewards, you know, and that's why we're after over here. So yeah, when your mom and dad tell you to do something, just do it, man. They say it because they want the best for you. And now I understand that. At that time, I was like, no, man, I don't want to study. But, you know, those are habits that were built. How do you advise to review your trades? I don't know, man. I think the best way to review trades is, all right, so let's say that I come back to a chart and I try to start to review my GJ cells here. So gold is still ranging over here. Your JPY is also ranging. So, all right, GJ cells. GPJPY cells were taken somewhere over here. All right, so this was support formed. There was a resistance formed over here. When this candle was closing bearish, I entered sells before this candle closed. When this candle closed, I entered another position and I secured 10 pips, left a runner running, and my runner got stopped out. So that to me was, okay, why did that work? Okay, that probably worked because price made a low in a downtrend, came up, created like a minor resistance, and then it came down. So, okay, this setup works most of the time. All right, awesome, Raja, good job today. And then tomorrow we're going to come back and try to find the same setup. And then there was a buy stop I had at 137.200. Such dumb decision I made over there. Had a buy stop, was anticipating a Brexit news, and then it basically got activated and then had to close that in a little bit of a drawdown. So, maybe next time I'm not going to do that. So that's how you're going to, go over your trades. And if it's a loss, let's say, for example, someone took a buy. Okay, so let's talk about a very common loss here today, right? So my day is done, so I'm just going to go over some past trades over here. So a very common loss in the London session was right over here, right? When candles came down in this area, we had a big rejection. You had a candle closing bullish on the 30-minute time frame, and then you were like, okay, you know what? If we did not have this information, let's do this over here, right? If we didn't have this information here, it would make sense for the next 30-minute candle to continue moving bullish, but it didn't, right? The next candle, it moved bearish, and you basically got stopped out. So now we're going to investigate how could we have been in the correct trade. So when this candle closed bullish, so you have to look at the time. This was the 3:30 a.m. candle. Let's take a look on the 4-hour candle at this time. So the 4-hour candle was somewhere right over here, right? It had made a lower wick, because on the 30-minute, we had made a lower wick down here till 137,100. And the 4-hour had made a lower wick, and it was retracing, right? 1-hour candle closed like this, right? 1-hour candle closed like a weak bullish candle. So when a candle is closing weak bullish candle, you're looking to see where it's closing. So based on the 1 hour, it's closing below this support area right over here, a weak bullish candle. So if you look at the 1 hour, this did not basically mean it's a buy, right? And now when we go to the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute is creating that bullish candle, indicating it a buy. So we have the 4-hour, which is bearish, leaving a wick. We have the 1 hour, which is closing a small body candle, not giving confirmations it's a buy. And then we only have the 30-minute candle, which is closing bullish, right? So, if I saw this, I would probably wait for a resistance to form to take a sell, because the overall 4-hour is bearish, right? I think if I would be taking a buy, I'd be taking with a lower risk buy, because if you look on the 15-minute time frame here, this was the close of the 30-minute candle right over here, and you're expecting this next 15-minute candle to continue bullish. So if I would be taking it, I'd be taking it with a lower risk, because essentially we made a low over here, and price was just retracing to retest that low. Yeah, I think that was a very common loss here today. Do you cover 50 or 75% on 10 pips? Have you ever back tested whether taking 50% is more profitable than 75%? I think logically, if we look at the numbers, securing 75% is more profitable than securing 50%, right? Because 75% is a bigger number than 50%. Me 6 months ago would sell gold right now, expecting this price to be the high of the Wix candle. Yes. That's called trading what you think. I used to do that too. When I first started learning about, wick fills and really started experimenting it, I'd be like, I would be thinking like, if this candle is moving bullish and previous one is bearish, I would be stacking sells over here and thinking that we will continue down. And this is just a wick being made on the top side. But me stacking sells, and if price started moving up, oh my God, the drawdown, holy. Yeah, so I stopped that. I stopped that idea, and then I actually started waiting for candle to turn in my direction, or break lows on small time frames and whatnot. You just say I need to listen to your parents, but my parents say that Forex investing is gambling. What's your opinion? Well, Forex investing is gambling. They're absolutely true. And the other thing is they haven't been exposed to this kind of method. They haven't been exposed. So obviously when they say things like this, they're looking out for you. They don't want you to get hurt, because it's not like that they don't understand what Forex is. It's like they don't want you to get hurt. And I don't want you to get hurt either. So that's why you should focus on 1 or 2 trades and really give it time. You know, give trading a long time. Give it like 1 year, you know, because in 1 year, if you can start paying a small bill for your household and you can tell your parents, hey, listen, you remember this bill? This bill is being paid for the past, let's say, 4 or 5 months. And you can say, hey, this bill has been paid from the money I'm making in trading. You know, once you start to do that, they'll be like, okay, like, you know what, this is actually working. Like, this man is bringing in money from this idea of Forex and paying a small bill for us. You know, then they'll slowly start to say, okay, like, you know what, okay, it works, just be careful, you know, make sure you don't lose everything, this and that. And that's what happened with me here, right? Slowly, like, you know, they started to see bills were being paid and they were like, you know, certain things were changing. So then slowly the mindset starts to shift. You know, but in the beginning, when someone doesn't know anything, they're looking out for you. They're like, hey, like, you know what, don't get hurt, don't lose money, this and that. So you got to give it time. Because whenever I talk to someone about, you know, trading or stocks and this and that, the first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, people lose money in that all the time. Because that's all what they've heard. People lose money in that all the time. And why is because, oh, I know this guy, he sits on his charts all day. Or I know this guy, he's always on his charts. He's waking up in the middle of the night. They don't have discipline. That's why people lose money all the time. There's no discipline. There's no timetable, you know. Could you please explain how would you take sells in linen case you just described? Oh, how would we take sells? Okay, I think a good selling idea would have been. See, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to say. I think a good one would have been right over here when you had this 15-minute candle closing below this area, and then just expecting the next one to continue down with volume in the London session. But if you look on the 30-minute, yeah, I think that would have been the only safe play right over here, or actually waiting for price to make another low to come back and take the sell, which we took early in the morning here today. I gained, I lost. That was just 200,000, but I gained a lot, which ultimately developed my personality. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I've lost too. Why should be gambling if there's a study and technique in every trade? Yes, there's always a study and technique in every trade. Would you mind giving me some feedback on this chart? Would you? I think what you meant was, would you mind? Yeah, I've started to read comments as they come, you know, without correcting the spellings. Sometimes they're pretty hilarious. Oh, GU, would these be the most logical breakout areas? Are there any areas I'm missing? All right, so we got buys above here. So you got the most recent resistance formed. You have the most recent support formed. So you're looking for price to continue down. I think one issue you might have would be somewhere over here. Oh, better use a better color. Somewhere over here. First issue you might find is right over here. And going up is also pretty good. You got clean candles coming all the way down over here. So this makes perfect sense to continue up. But there might be some issues right over here because price kind of like ranged here. Even though price ranged here before and this area gets nullified but this clean move down, it's still, there's a probability that it may kind of like have some issues here. Wow, man, time passed by pretty quick today. Probably going to leave here in 2 minutes over here. When you wanted to take the trade after the big bearish candle in London session, the stop loss would be big, but you know for sure that would be a big move downward. How could you get at that time? How could you get in that trade? I think what I mentioned was what would have been right over here. So even if you had to stop, your stop would have been like, you know, 10 to 13 pips. And then you're anticipating price to continue down. Because this candle is closing below this area over here. So either in the downtrend, you sell a high to retest the low, or you wait for price to break a support and then continue bearish. You know, something that happened right over here in the morning. We came down, made a low, came up, price created a resistance here in 30 minutes by printing bearish and boom, boom, boom. All right, everybody, I'm going to head off over here. I think we had a pretty good session, ending my session here in profits for today.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Roger.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Enjoy, fellas. Enjoy.
Yeah, have a good day, everyone. Don't
Take care, man.
overtrade.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Take
man.
care. Very nice.
No sobre el comercio.
Whoa. Oh, no. ¿Cómo? What?
No sobre el comercio. Comercio means trading.
Oh, okay. No
overtrade.
overtrading. No. Yeah.
Yeah, sobre
No
el comercio.
comprende.
No comprende, amigos.
No comprende español, amigo.
No comprende español, muchachos and muchachas.
Ah, you
I know now.
Muchachas.
Muchachas and
You
muchachos.
said it perfect. How come?
Yeah. Shout out to Spanish and Kenya.
Oh, wow. In Kenya?
Yeah, we got Kenyans over here.
Wow. Amazing.
We got people from Kenya and Tanzania.
Wow.
Yeah, even in Tanzania, man. People trade in Tanzania and Sudan.
Power of wigs don't lie.
I don't know, man. Power of Forex and the dreams.
Yeah.
Man, I think most people got into trading by looking at these false dreams on social media. I think that's how people got into trading.
Supercars.
I agree with you 100%.
100%. And some gave up and some found the correct way, and hey, some are in the gulag. They found us.
That's the way I got started too.
Oh yeah? Oh nice.
but not through social media though. By when I used to work for Target back in the days, I had ran up $100,000 worth of gift card for a guy, and I was like, man, I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm giving these out to my family and friends.
Wait.
I was like, what do you do for a living? And he said, I'm a day trader. I'm like, what? What's that?
So this.
And he was like, huh?
So this dude came in, and he bought $100,000 worth of gift cards.
Yeah. So I helped him out to his car with it, right? Because we had thrown him in the bag. The increments was like 500, 1,000. So I threw him in a bag, and I'm bringing it out to his car, and he pulls up. I think it was a Ferrari, a Lamborghini at the time. I'm like, man, like whatever you do, man, that's what I want to do for a living. So I went home, man. Got home from work. I looked it up, and I saw that they traded, you could buy and sell stocks, and I turned on CNBC, and they told you could short and buy long. So I started doing my research, man. And ever since, I was like, this is free money, man. Like, you know,
I've been sleeping all this time.
all this time, man. So then I read a book that saying like, if you want to be successful, follow the money. So that's what I did, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's crazy. So all those gift cards that would have gone into that dude's expenses, 100%.
Yeah, all that was a write-off.
Oh yeah, all that was a write-off.
Yeah.
That's a good way to save an extra percentage on your taxes.
Yeah.
Man, I should start to do that. Just pay my mortgage in gift cards.
Oh, I thought you were sending gift cards to us.
Get the send the finance company Walmart gift cards. There you go. This is my mortgage. It's a sick idea.
Yeah, man.
10 years later, man, that was the best decision I ever made, you know.
Yeah.
The journey wasn't easy, but the time that I put in, I'd do it over again if I had to, man.
So do you think that this whole concept of like the trading lifestyle, it comes like when does that lifestyle comes? Like what do you think?
It all depends. It all depends, man. Depends on the age limit, you know what I mean? You know, if I was profitable, if I was like really profitable in my 20s when I first started, like I would have done crazy stuff. But as you get older, man, the lifestyle doesn't mean anything to you. It's like obtain assets. That's my goal, man. Like, you know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Assets above anything, man. Trust.
I don't look at cars. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I just built a new house, man, and I was telling my wife like we should have went bigger. You know what I mean? And she was like, "No, you don't need all this space."
Yeah, you should have went bigger.
But like,
yeah,
you know, like I'm just finding ways to diversify my money right now.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I found out Forex when I was already like, starting a family, and yeah, right, like it comes with age. Like if I was younger, then yeah, things would have been much different, but like once I was growing up and I was figuring out how to like, protect the future, then start to say that, okay, like, you know what, assets, like having assets makes sense.
Like that's what I keep telling people. Like I don't have no car payments, I barely have a mortgage payment, and my mortgage is actually paid off because I just sold my house. I don't, right now I'm just renting back right now for nothing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this guy's living free at the moment.
Yeah. When you guys figure that out, man, life gets better, man.
Any advice for 20-year-olds over here? I would say focus on school. Focus on getting a good job. Try to save money. Save money. Don't get stuck in like impressing people. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do as a young adult, while you're figuring out what you want to do. Trying to impress people, trying to be someone you are not. Like my parents were very strict. I never got the opportunity to explore different lifestyle ideas, and I think that was a very good thing, because that kind of stayed with me now that I'm here in my life right now. Sometimes I go to dealerships to look at cars. The other day I was at the Dodge dealership looking at the Durango, $80,000 car. A week before that I went to the Mercedes dealership looking at cars, and I was looking at them and I'm like, man, I can really afford it. I can really buy it right now if I want to. The guy is telling me payment options and this is really simple. I can do this right now. But then at the same time I was thinking, do I really need it? I mean, I start to think that I have 2 paid off cars. Do I really need another car to just spend money like that? And I started to think about, okay, maybe if I'm going to spend $90,000 on a car, I could probably put that towards pre-construction property, park that money there, which is going to give me a much higher return after 2 years, 3 years, and I don't know, once I found success here, the things I wanted to get before, once they were achievable, they just lost that appeal. They just kind of lost that appeal. So now, I guess my appeal is to become bigger now, getting properties, because that's the next step. But when we cross that level, then we start to look at getting, big, skyscrapers probably, maybe, I don't know, who knows. Man, that's a long shot idea, skyscrapers.
Yeah, you will become Raja Cardone.
Raja Cardone? Grant Cardone?
Yeah.
Man, he's a smart guy, that guy can talk.
Yeah, I agree, man.
He can talk. That's it.
What I never understand? I never understand why people pay people to listen, to motivate them. That's the only part I don't understand. Never understand.
I think
part.
It's not just that, it's the network that he has. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you need a big network, in order for you to grow. So this guy has a lot of reach on his power is big, man. Trust.
Well, if you're going to those events to network, then that's different. But to go there to just listen to him speak and go home doesn't do you any good, in my opinion.
No, 100%. 100%. The tickets to get there, I think it's $2,000, some of the tickets.
What?
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $2,000.
And I'm telling you a regular ticket, not the one like a VIP ticket. VIP tickets are like $12,000. Yeah, it's pretty insane. But like I said, people who go there, it's because they're trying to start their business, and you know, the reach power that this guy has is a lot. It's big.
Okay, so it's a more networking event that you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge networking event. Like, it's a huge networking event. All right. So I'm going to head off over here now. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay, senor.
All right, senor. Take care. Have fun.
Freaky Friday.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Freaky Friday is tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow is Freaky Friday.
You have a guest for tomorrow?
Yes. Yes.
Talking options?
No, I'm getting Ty. We're getting Ty back on. Yeah, Ty. Chilling here.
Oh, I like Ty, man.
Yeah, Ty's good vibes, man. I miss him.
Yeah, man.
Let's see if we can get talking options back too. I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
God, I won't be logging on that day.
I know, Kieran. We're in the same boat.
Options, where I teach you how to trade options, giving you some better options than the
yeah.
Oh man. Hey, welcome to Talking Options, where I give you better options to have more options.
I wonder if Ted is still around here.
Man, that intro is sick.
That day on Instagram, man. Oh man.
Oh wow. What's this? Oh shit. She exposed our boy Ty over here.
Oh,
no way.
God.
We're gonna have him on tomorrow, and we're gonna ask him what does he think about this.
Yes.
This has been one of the most highly requested videos that we have seen so far. Tyillionaire, you thought that I wasn't coming back, but man, I told you, you can't ban the snowman. This is your...
You can't ban the snowman.
The snowman.
Snowman's
That's cheesy little sister.
Already know.
Snowman's banned in Miami anyway.
Press the button. Now, here's the thing. Here is about to make his new YouTube channel.
No matter what it is, 20 indicators on there.
One of them. It's not matching up. And it's not...
Did you click the button?
Oh, man.
I think this is where we get the intro over here.
She's like the 6'9", man, in the Forex.
No. You can't compare this person to 6'9".
She's clout chasing.
No. 6'9" has done a lot of good things for his community. That guy went through... His own people made him go through hell. 6'9". I'm a diehard fan of 6ix9ine, man. You can't.
I know. What happened to your boy? Your boy looked like they got him kidnapped, tied up somewhere.
Yeah, he hasn't done any updates in a while. Man, I just want to hear this intro over here. I think this is the intro.
Eat, sleep, and trade. Eat.
Man, this guy is so annoying. Every video I open, he's there.
Are you afraid to trade?
Dude, imagine his ad revenues.
Don't sweat it.
Wow.
We're going to look at Samantha Bryant from Talking.
This is someone exposing her. All right. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Talking options. I like to talk options. Sweet.
Sweet. So hilarious, man. Yeah. Okay, all right, everyone. This time I'm gonna head off over here. This is the NYC Open. All right, we'll see you
Might
tomorrow.
go down the rabbit hole.
All right.